Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM-certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome into episode 141 of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She's Julie Dobbs. And look who we have here. Julie's new little friends from the Speakeasy on 97.1 The Freak. You two are the reason this girl has been on a verge of a nervous breakdown for the last couple months.
Excuse me.
Not you two. Well, no, listen, we all have. But welcome to the show, Kevin Turner, Jeff Cavanaugh. So excited. I feel like I get to moderate this and be like, I feel like the fourth member of the Speakeasy right now. So I'm super stoked. First of all, your thoughts and feelings on being here on the Mom Game. Jeff, I know you're an avid listener, never miss an episode. Yeah. What's it like to finally be here?
Well, I think it was episode 44 where I got absolutely hooked.
Yeah.
And so it's incredible to be here. And we are not the reason that Julie's on the verge of a breakdown.
Okay.
We're the only thing that's helping her hang in there because without us and that, she wouldn't have a salary.
True.
So we're keeping the entire home intact.
That's true.
As she spends her whole salary on a nanny.
And I just turn it all around.
This is a problem a lot of moms face these days. Yeah. Kevin, your thoughts, feelings, emotions right now?
I'm so nervous.
Are you?
I'm so nervous when the red light came on. I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
I told Julie earlier that over the years, because I've been watching since the first episode, and y'all hooked me on the pilot episode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is for me.
Thank you.
Because I, want to know what it's like to be a mommy. And I don't have kids yet, and or ever, who knows?
Someone will get you pregnant.
But someone might. That's definitely in the cards at some point. But what I was going to say is I was telling Julie, I always think about commenting when y'all post the links, and I almost think about going, like, can I come on sometime? Can I just hang out? And then it was like, okay, we're going to have Ben and Skin on. And that really just angered me.
I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't know that angered you.
No, I'm kidding.
In our defense, I didn't know you very well until we started doing this show together.
Met Julie 10 years ago, and she doesn't remember it. Known her for a long time. And she doesn't remember, but it's fine.
That's okay. It's totally fine. Mm-hmm. So, KT, I've known you for a while.
Feels like it.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like quite some time. Give us the little KT synopsis as you sip on your Legato Sauvignon Blanc.
First of all, I would say this is delicious.
Thank you.
What is this, Scout and Celery?
It is.
No,
it is.
my God.
It is.
Okay, so the synopsis?
Yeah.
Well, so when I met you, Dallas Mavericks locker room, 2009.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Intern at the Ticket, and as a bit, I was wearing, whatever jeans I was wearing, but I was wearing a T-shirt and a blazer because Skin was doing that as the sideline guy at the time. So I was just doing a bit to try to get his attention, and then you were still doing basketball stuff then.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you a couple times, and then that's how I was covering games as an intern at the Ticket for all those years. And then in 2013, I left the Ticket. I was a part-time guy, and I joined Ben and Skin at the Fan, and did that until 2019. And then I went to iHeart, which was the Eagle, and now it's the Freak. I was with Ben and Skin for damn near 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yes, I wasted my 20s on Ben and Skin. No, I'm kidding. And those guys are awesome. And I remember when I started working with them, they were like, one day you're going to have your own show. And I was like, no, I'm not. I would love to, but no, I'm not. And they said, When I told them, I said it would be great if I was on like before you guys or after you guys, and we could mix and all that stuff. So that's how it kind of worked out. And one of my best friends in the world when I worked at the Fan was Jeff Cavanaugh. Became more than a coworker, like legitimately one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you two.
Serious
Y'all
lovers.
love each other.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Jeff, give me your synopsis. I want to get to know Jeff Cavanaugh.
6'3", 200 pounds. I'm a
Here we go.
Gemini.
Here we go. Long walks on the beach.
Single, and what I'm looking for in a lover is someone who has been to therapy, is just ridiculously gorgeous. No height requirements. Age, I'm willing to go as low as probably late 20s.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a great question. Like, what should the range be? Because I'm on
Yeah.
the dating apps, and I debate on where to put it.
Yeah.
And I swipe
So what
off
do you
in
put it
enough.
at?
I think I have it on like 29 to 40.
Okay. So you're not afraid to go a little over?
No.
38?
No, I mean,
little.
it depends.
40.
You guys remember the movie?
Just barely.
Yeah.
AT was the movie Knocked Up when they were talking about
Yes.
you gotta maybe. I mean, you know,
Tighten it up.
You can get up in the 40s and
Right.
have,
Keep it tight.
Man, you can keep it.
Shit's pretty tight. I'm just saying.
I forgot you could cuss.
Thank you. No,
Well,
Yeah.
that's what's fun.
welcome to the mom game.
Yeah, you can
I-
say whatever you want.
I won't because I'm just conditioned.
Yeah.
Cuss
So-
words do not come out of this mouth.
You know, ever?
I mean, they do, but like it's usually after beer 3 on a golf course or something.
So I'm curious. With that being said, we got to get back to your synopsis. But you bring up a good question. So I am so aggressively cusser girl. Like, but it's all I've ever known. I grew up. My dad raised my sister and I. She doesn't have as big of a potty mouth as I do. And then it got magnified being in the sports world. You know, you're trying to fit in, so you're dropping F-bombs too and whatever. Is it jarring or offensive to you when I come so hot out of the shoot and just like, fuck this and F that and shit?
You should
and,
be honored she's asking if you care, because most people, she just does it. And she just
Right.
rolls right over him. She doesn't even ask
I mean,
him
we
how
had
they feel about it.
we had my pastor on, and I'm, you know, I kind of cleaned it up for him.
He's like, "Damn, girl."
He's a man of the cloth. So I mean, for a normal human being, how abrasive am I at this point in time?
It's a zero. Like in everyday life, anybody who talks however they talk, like it doesn't register at all. But sitting in front of a microphone when you said shit, like I feel like I had to change my inflection just to say it. Like I can't just say it, can I? Like it was shocking. I forget that there are formats where that's allowed. Like I have a YouTube channel. I don't cuss on it, and I'm
Right.
allowed to. I could. It never crosses my mind to say a cuss word.
Okay,
I'm conditioned.
you are conditioned. But I will say, I have never cussed on live television. 25 years, never cussed on live television.
You guys don't have any sort of delay.
We do, but
Okay.
they've never had to use it on me. Okay, finish your synopsis.
Yeah, there's more to
long
you.
walks
There's
on the
more to
beach,
you than your dating profile.
dating app.
Oh.
Give me some background here.
What is a synopsis?
Well, like where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Oh, wait, can I not say that?
Mom and Dad had sex some
can
point
say
in
that.
'83 because I was born in '84. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. So, like sports-wise, the first 10 years of my life, I was actually a St. Louis Blues and St. Louis Cardinals fan and didn't really care about football because the city of St. Louis doesn't care about football.
Yeah.
Okay.
But moved to Allen, Texas when I was 10 years old. And so I grew up in Allen, went to Allen High School, went to Abilene Christian University for 3 semesters, flunked out of that bad boy. And then I came home, and then I was on a road to a life where I have no idea what I was going to do, but it wasn't going to lead to anything positive until I got a part-time job at the Fan in, what year is this?
2022.
Either 2009 or 2010, and they hired me to answer the phone.
Ooh,
And I answered the hell out of that phone
such a big job.
for the Arnie Spanier show. And then I
He
learned,
was kind of annoying.
yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, so my gosh, it was because I used to. It was like on the way home. I feel like when I was coming home from the ballpark.
We were on from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Oh, and it was just the voice was just. Which I'm certain people say the same thing about me. I say the same thing about my own voice, but
hate
it
my voice.
was just. Whoa. Okay, finish Arnie Spaniard then.
I think you have to be a narcissist or something if you like hearing yourself back because I despise my voice. I don't want to hear it. Like when I hear it, I think KT sounds good on the radio. I think Julie sounds good on the radio. Every time my voice is on, I'm like, why the hell do they let me talk?
Right.
That sounds awful.
Is it what you're saying or your voice
My voice.
that you don't like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hate it.
You have a great low
Hate
voice.
it. Hate it. Hate it.
Kind of a little bit raspy.
Good radio voice.
Yeah, good radio voice. Okay, go. Keep interrupting.
I must warn you, like, you never know when he's going to get turned on and start doing this voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like defensive linemen turn him on. Like,
They don't turn me on. I was
Certain
just
things.
I wanted the Cowboys to be better, and they needed a big guy, and so I was looking for a big old girthy.
He'll put his butt out there like
and
a
he'll
baboon.
just randomly turn into do the voice, and it's fun. I like it.
So yeah, then I got hired at the Fan to answer the phones, and then Arnie sometimes would let me have a microphone to read stupid stories off the internet, and then he either got fired or left. I never asked him. But then I jumped on to the
Clearly,
show.
I had a great relationship.
He lived on my couch for like a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
And his voice, him and his voice, lived on your couch.
Yeah, because his family left.
Oh,
Aw,
now
well,
you're gonna make him
that's
like feel
sad.
bad.
No, they are still together, but his family moved to Buffalo, and he stayed for like another year, and then he followed them. But for that year, he slept on my couch in the hood. It was great.
Well, God bless him. I
Yeah.
mean,
he was a sweet man, annoying broadcaster, sweet man.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so then joined a show with Gavin Dawson, did that show, and then we moved around to different day parts and all the different things, and then eventually I got tired of it and I quit, and now I have a new job that I like way better.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Julie, give us your synopsis. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know about that.
We've got your synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get to other things other than synopsises and sexy radio voices,
Synopsi.
let's work in a sponsor here. You guys know the drill. We got to work in our sponsors.
Let's
Who
work
is
in
it?
our
We love
sponsor.
it. It's Divalore Wellness.
Divalore Medical Wellness. It is our friend Melanie Cobb. She is a mom and certified physician's assistant who was feeling overwhelmed with the demands of a full-time career. Just like all of us, she thought about what she could do to create something on her own, something that she's passionate about, started her own company in skincare. And if you haven't called her yet and you've been listening to our live spots and you've been looking at our faces just generally looking better over the last few months, then I don't know what you're doing. You got to call our friends at Divalore Medical Wellness. Our friend Melanie, she's done some facial treatments on both of us. She does do the Botox, the Dysport. She does. I know. I told you about
I'm
her.
in the market for Botox.
You are?
It's time to start, yeah.
Oh.
I'm 38, and I got these ones and these ones and these ones, and
Dude.
I'm in the market.
We've got your girl.
We've got your girl. And she has medical expertise, too. So she's not just somebody that started this on a whim.
And she's like super conservative where you're not
Yeah.
going to look ridiculous.
I just want the right amount of units.
There you go. Oh,
She'll
God,
give
you're
you the
speaking
right amount of
language.
units.
Yeah, she's got you.
She won't oversell you. She won't rip you off.
Nope.
She won't just try to make extra bucks off of you. Like sometimes that happens to me if I walk into a med spa where I have no idea what I'm doing. They're like, you need this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay. And I leave and it was $1,000 or something stupid. She's not going to do that. She's on your side and she can help you out. Chemical peels, microneedling, natural hair restoration. Nobody here needs that.
I'm.
You want some more hair?
Yeah.
Never know.
Dermal fillers, Botox, Dysport, Sculptra, Cabela, and much, much more. DivalorMedicalWellness.com/momgame. We do have, or the mom game. We do have a landing page on her website, or you can go to our link tree in our Twitter or our Instagram to find the link to hit up Melanie, and she will give you a free consultation. You can do it virtually if you're not in Fort Worth. You can go into her nice, relaxing, cozy office if you are in Fort Worth, and she will hook you up.
I'll see you soon, Melanie.
Yes. Jeff, we'll see you soon.
You sold.
Okay, Julie, you haven't gotten much of a chance to talk.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I want to. So I feel so special. I was privy to what was happening in my little Julie's life.
A little bit, yeah.
was
a little bit early. I kept a very good secret until I, called Richie Witt on the phone and told him what was happening.
No, you're the one.
Actually, when I was telling Richie what was happening, he was like, hold on, Emily's calling.
Yeah. So crazy. We had
Yeah.
it's the same timing. So I was kind of privy to it. I was so excited for Julie. The only reason I've said this many times, I do this podcast or we started this is because it was Julie that asked, because she's like the nicest human being on the planet. And when you're the nicest human being on the planet, you want to see people succeed. And if they think that you can help them succeed, it's a really big compliment. And so while I was pissed off to get roped into something else, I was also anxious
not
to help
pissed
her.
off.
I was. Excuse me.
She still is.
And now 141 episodes later, I'm so glad that we did it. But anyway, so to see her do this and to have the relative success that we've had, and for her to get the job that she has now and to be with you guys makes my soul so happy because I adore her so much. So Julie, what has it been like? And you didn't know these guys.
I didn't
very well.
Yeah. And
except for that meeting 10 years ago with KT that you don't remember.
He has a lot of those
Except
stories,
for that
unfortunately.
one.
He says the same thing to Reiner and Soroy. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember that.
No, you're sweet to say all of that. And just to see everybody here in one spot, like that warms my soul because now you get to meet my new best friends. I mean, we talk every day for 4 hours a day. Like that's a lot. But no, it's just been wonderful. Like I think I told you, and if anybody ever asks, it's like I didn't see a radio job around the corner ever again. And so we started the Dub Network. And we're having fun with all of that. I roped you into 2 things.
You did. I was really pissed about the Dub Network.
You could have said no. She always does this. She likes playing this game.
I tried.
You did not.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway,
Move on.
Anyway, sell your part to me and we'll be fine. No, so this kind of came out of nowhere. And yeah, there were like rumors even amongst just the people involved, right? No one really knew how it was all going to shake out, what the shows were going to be, who was going to be with who. At least I didn't. It was all being talked about, up until the last minute, essentially. And then I landed with these 2 on a morning show, the Speakeasy, from 7 to 11 every morning on The Freak. And it's just been so fun. Like, it's been so fun. I feel like every day kind of like, I don't know if it's real. Like, is this a real job? Like, we just literally laughed and were totally insane for 4 hours on the radio. And now I'm done with my job for the day and you're paying me for this. But no, it was fun, like starting out something brand new. And then one of the challenges in my mind was going to be like just getting to know new co-hosts that I didn't really know very well at all. There are people there that I do know very well, but I'm not with them. I'm with these 2. And it couldn't have gone better. It really couldn't have, I don't think. I love them both as people, and our show, I feel like, just jives really well. It's really fun. It's getting better as we go on. We're all kind of, at least I know, like kind of learning like my place and, just feeling things out. And it's just been like a dream come true. It really has.
Aww.
It's been really fun, and they're wonderful. And I love that they are like really good friends. And so for me to kind of come in on that was also a little bit maybe intimidating, but it's just been really good. I'm happy. I'm sad I didn't know him till now, honestly. And I'm happy that it all worked out how it did. And then to get to have you on set with them, it's like, this is awesome. Thanks for fighting through it. I know it's one more thing on your day.
I'm just glad, as you said, that you know your place now. I think that is really important.
Okay, so
he's joking, but he's serious. Because day one, I came in hot.
You came in.
Oh, I feel, like when you're doing a radio show, right, with like zero practice or zero like figuring out who's talking when, it's a challenge. And I think I was overexcited and like.
Well, we're going to distance from the way you started this because it sounds like at some point somebody told you have to stop talking, and that's not true at all.
Well,
if your point is that we felt each other out and we have a better chemistry now, sure. No one has ever told Julie talk less.
Right.
Julie tells herself.
I was just about to say, Julie's told
Julie
me
show.
she needs to talk less. Okay, so here's a question, and it's 2022. It's not like there are chicks everywhere doing all kinds of stuff that weren't doing it 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Not at a lot of stations.
But that's what I was about to say. You two, from what I know of you, appear to be very progressive individuals and would have zero issue with a woman. But at the same time, it's not something that happens a ton. And there is a level of differentness when you're talking to a girl with boobs.
Or without boobs.
Yeah.
Lady parts. Right. Or not her own, or some of both.
Or closed up. Well.
Yes. Oh, yes. So what was there a little bit of a feeling out process on, I probably shouldn't say that because it's Julie and she's a mom of 2, or was it just like, F it, we're just going to be ourselves, and because you are kind of wired the way you are, it was all cool?
I know for me, I had experience working with Christina Ray for a few years. So I was already comfortable with it, but I would have been comfortable with it anyways. Julie specifically, everyone who knows Julie and has worked with Julie in any regard has glowing things to say about her. So that was very simple. Like, okay, yeah, everyone says Julie's great. Cool, let's go. I think Jeff and I had an inkling. I don't know if we knew when. I think Jeff and I had an inkling that he and I might be doing a show together at some point. I mean, I tried to do a show with him in 2019 when I left the fan. So it just wasn't in the cards at that time. But I had a feeling at some time down the road, Jeff and I might work together. But to add Julie, you know, we didn't know that was going to happen until very late. And when it did, after meeting Julie and hanging out with her a couple of times, it was very easy to know. But I knew Julie because I listened to the ticket and I listened to the fan. I listened to all the other stations. I knew what Julie could do. So, and it's been great. Now I love that Julie is now not just like relegated to like doing a ticker. Now she can talk about furries or, you know, we
Heard
can
heard that. 20
you know,
minutes. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is each day. Whatever, you know, Julie has, it's usually magic. So, yeah.
That's nice.
I do think that going into working with a woman in our sort of format, I was going to be mindful going in to not have it be what I feel like it is a lot of times in our industry where, like I think of the stupid sports debate shows that are the worst shit on television. They're so disingenuous. But a lot of times they'll throw in a female who's the host / moderator. And they're
and I am one, or the dugout reporter, or the sideline reporter, or whatever. Yeah,
where it's in like at least in the scenarios I'm picturing, it's like there's almost a level of token to it,
right?
And like that's bullshit. And I think it's all about what can you do. And I've been places where the females on staff went away pretty quick. And it doesn't matter.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
And I also, but coming into working with like dudes working with dudes being bros, like you act a certain way, or at least sometimes in different environments. But knowing that we were going to be working with a woman, like I intentionally was going to go into it and like, look, we're not going to do the 14-year-old innuendo that is kind of low-key, half-ass sexual harassment of a coworker, like, and just see like, where does Julie go with humor and fun? And if something gets said that could be construed a certain way, does she point it out and laugh at it? And like, I was intentionally not going to do that, where it's because that again, I think is something that it's just like it's lazy.
Right, but okay, because I definitely am. I mean, I'm the one that goes there. I'm always the one that goes there. Most of the time. And I feel like Julie does too. Maybe sometimes unintentionally.
Yeah, but I just my thing is I wanted to feel it out and see that was going to be a thing,
right?
Not try to make it a thing,
right? Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think Julie that you had to appreciate that they kind of like let you set the tone,
and then they were probably shocked at what
because
they
because I've known Christina, and I know like she's one of the dudes. That's the way you're going to talk. And with Julie, when you don't know yet, it's like, all right, what's it going to be like if I say a bunch of really crass stuff?
Yeah,
is she going to be like, or? And it turns out that she's more wild ass than we are.
Right?
Yeah.
Truth.
We're quite the trio. Yeah. No, I appreciate that though. Like on day one, it wasn't just like, hey, Julie.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah.
Like, say something about this. Laugh at this. You know, like, no, it wasn't that at all.
You ever done a wheelbarrow?
It all.
Yeah,
they weren't, and they didn't.
We didn't start there.
But then on like day 2 or 3, I find myself talking about how big the lizard in KT's backyard is, and asking him how big is your lizard, and then it became a promo. I'm like, well, here we are. But I did it. Yeah. I did it.
Right.
I was trying to figure it out.
And I think too. I think that it brings up a great topic to where we're in such a sensitive time, and people are so charged about things that it's like you almost like. I mean, when you question everything, but at the end of the day, I think everyone just wants to be themselves, and so I'm a cussing crass individual. Like that's just who I am. So I don't want to pretend that I'm not, and I don't want other people to pretend that I'm not. And I want to be surrounded by other inappropriate, crass individuals.
Absolutely. No, I live for like a really well-timed dick joke. Yeah. I mean, I am put on this earth for that.
Yeah, too far. I don't say the D word.
Am I canceled now? Okay.
Can't say the D word in front of me, please.
Can I work at Home Depot now and been fired? Oh, let me take off my lanyard and turn it in. No, I think the thing that's really cool, and you can say this and it can mean nothing when you say it. But when I go in every day and do a show with Jeff and Julie, I know that I'm just being Kevin. And Kevin is not a smooth broadcaster, and Kevin is not close to perfect. And I get a feeling that Jeff is being Jeff, and Julie's being Julie every day.
Yeah.
And that is something that I think I just really love about it, because when you're trying to feel someone out too, and you're trying to figure out, and there's pressure because it's a new thing and all that stuff, you can get in your head a little bit about things. And I've really thought from we hit the ground running with okay, it was very comfortable to just be me, and I don't always feel comfortable being myself, right? But Julie and Jeff make it comfortable for me to be me, and I hope that I make it comfortable for them to be themselves as well.
Yeah.
And that can mean nothing when you say it. You have to go do it, and we're gonna hopefully get better.
Well,
right?
and don't you feel like you reach a point in your life to where you're so much more comfortable in your skin and embracing all your wheels offness and your imperfections and all the things, to where it's just like, this is me. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm not trying to be anyone that I'm not. I can appreciate people who are vastly different than me, but you're just gonna be yourself. Do you feel like because of what you guys have been through individually, collectively, that's kind of where you are?
Oh, it's been a giant life lesson for me over the last probably 6 or so years, because starting off in radio and where I was as a human being and in the world, it was like whatever you thought would make people laugh, whatever you thought would make people like you, whatever you thought would help you fit in. Like, I was the drunkest dude at the Fan who was just way out there at any station event or whatever. And eventually, some people may not reach the point, but I think eventually a lot of people reach the point where you realize that what you're doing is there's why? What am I doing and why? Mm-hmm. And once you start to figure that stuff out, and you go, oh, wait, okay, so all of this is incredibly unhealthy ways to try to fit in or have people like me or whatever, then there's probably a process you go through. And when you do, or when you start to, I realized that my on-air real life self, the actual person, would be at least as interesting as the dude whose fake self was. I get hammered. That's me. Ha ha, suck it.
Yeah.
The real quirks of your personality, when you realize who you are and the things that you don't like, what makes you comfortable and uncomfortable, it's going to be infinitely more relatable than fake shit.
And you've been pretty public about, I followed, you and your story about, kind of your struggles with mental health, and which, first of all, I applaud you for sharing that publicly. I love how open you are about it. I love how casual you are about it. This doesn't have to be I love that. But at what point, how big has the public platform with which you have been on the last several years played a part in that? Do you think it's helped, or do you think it's hurt?
I think it's helped a ton, because I think I went probably 30-something years somewhere deep down thinking that what you've done in your life has amounted to nothing and it doesn't matter and there's not really a purpose to it. And it's kind of become the purpose, because therapy and a mental health journey and breakdowns and medication, all those different things, probably literally saved my life. If not, just drastically altered the quality of life that's going to be possible. And when talking about that, instead of the sports stuff in the world, and talking about real life and depression and anxiety and ADHD and how debilitating those things can be in different scenarios like that, it's the talking about it and getting the responses has been equally as big. Because if you want your life to mean something, have somebody tell you that they wouldn't still be here if you hadn't said something. Yeah. And I get that kind of stuff from people who literal DMs, something along the lines of, if you hadn't said that today, then, and it's just
crazy.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
insane to know that the amount of people out there that go through a lot of stuff that a ton of people go through. But if you're somebody who struggles really badly with whatever your mental health thing may be, PTSD, bipolar, you name it, when it's happening, it doesn't feel like this is happening to everyone. It feels like I am alone, and this is, I have the worst. And I think to be able to just be somebody that I think a lot of people look at and it's like, man, what a cool job, and sports and talking, and what a great life. And it's like, oh, what do you mean that you feel like you have it worse than anyone on planet Earth? And it's like, well, that's the way it goes. And I have found that saying those words out loud and sharing those words takes some of the burden out of myself and how you can feel when you're not feeling well. And I know that I've heard from a ton of people that hearing it from someone with sort of a platform and what they picture as a really cool job makes other people feel like, holy shit, this is not just me. Thank God. And it's weird how that can be powerful. You would think, like, who cares if I know other people struggle too? But there's something about it that just...
To knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
To knowing you're not alone. Yeah, my mom struggles with depressive... She's diagnosed manic depressive, and she's... she struggles with it all the time. And I feel like the thing... And, and I have my issues. We all do. But I feel like I'm guilty sometimes of trying to give her what you have, all this, you have this family that loves you. You have, and I try to remind myself that that's not going to do it.
That ain't pulling you out.
Right. And you feel helpless as someone who loves someone who's struggling, whether it's with mental illness or someone who's got, cancer, or, you just that helpless feeling. And so I feel like that, the way you end the show with the words that you do every day, I feel like I think it's awesome. And I think it's fantastic the way you've shared your journey with mental health. And I think it's important that, more people do that. I mean, I love how you talk about therapy. Like my husband and I did couples therapy, and it was one of the greatest things we ever did for our marriage. I've done therapy myself. I wish I would make more time to do it. I mean, because I for fuck's sake, I need therapy. I mean, so
there ain't a person on planet Earth that wouldn't benefit from therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I really do appreciate what you've done. I think it's, I'm sure you're not looking for my seal of approval, but I just wanted to say I think it's really cool for sharing how you do and for keeping that very top of mind and very front of your platform. So
thank you. I think it's honestly it's its own reward, and I've gotten better at being able to just look at somebody and say thank you. Whereas normally it would be like deflect, make a joke,
right?
And it's like, oh, thank you. But it's its own reward because you see what it means to people, and it means that my life has my life and my actions do have value, which that by itself is like you can't beat that.
Nope. Not at all. Good for you.
I want to buy a big stuffed seal and make it Emily's seal of approval and just have it hanging out in the corner.
Can we do it?
I think we
love
can.
it. God,
it's possible.
we could make this a thing.
Anything is possible.
Seal
You
of
could just
approval.
dress up as a seal and then be a seal of approval.
Just nodding when Emily says something. Yes.
Just
Yes.
agree. Just
I'm
agree
a
with
seal of
everybody.
approval.
Yeah.
Okay, KT, you've also been pretty open about some of your stuff as well.
Yeah, I got so much stuff.
You got
We
a lot
all
of
have
stuff.
stuff.
So, do you have insomnia or narcolepsy?
I have narcolepsy.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you fall asleep whenever.
It means that you can. Now, luckily, I got I got ahead of it. I've been on medication to help with that.
Okay.
There's a big misconception about narcolepsy. What narcolepsy, for those that don't know, is where you have it's not a sleep problem though, it's a brain. It's a neurological thing. And I, for years, was getting like sleep studies done and things like that, and it was not helpful. And when I finally got a neurologist, I learned, the sleep doctors are wrong on this. Narcolepsy happens to, it's somewhat rare, and there's not like a end-all be-all cure, but you basically have some medication that you can get if you get it diagnosed. The number one problem with narcolepsy is people just fight it their whole lives and don't get it diagnosed.
Yeah.
And if it's diagnosed, you can get the proper prescription meds for it to help you stay awake throughout the day. And, there's a lot of stigmas that go with that, like, oh, you're lazy, or why is that guy tired all the time, and things like that. And you're just kind of fighting that. And, I'm still learning about a lot of it because it is very rare. But one thing it does make you do is manage all aspects of your life. It's not a great idea for me, if I happen to not take my medicine, to go do something for a long time after my morning show and then drive home. That is a dangerous thing to do. And that's, quite frankly, selfish to do something because you could put other people in harm's way. luckily I've got the medication I need and I'm fine. But yeah, narcolepsy's another thing that I've helped a few people. Definitely not as big of a wide message as like the mental health struggles. Although you get those,
Scoreboard bitch.
you do get those throughout the years though. Just like in general, you said a joke that made me laugh on the way home, and my day was sucking. Now that kind of helps people.
Yeah.
I think.
That's one of the cool things about
Work for
radio,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did it start for you? Like, was it a result of something that happened or the way you were living life, or how does that?
So, I mean, now looking back, I know that it happened after I hit puberty.
Okay, so a long time ago.
Yes, and so I was falling asleep in all my high school
How
classes.
old were you when you hit puberty?
I was a late bloomer.
Six.
Were you?
Yeah.
6.
No,
I was a late bloomer too.
Were you really?
Oh my gosh, and I wanted so
Oh,
bad.
man, the girls must have been so tall because
No,
they.
it wasn't even that. It's just everyone had their period except for me.
Yeah.
Your balls
And I
hadn't
felt
dropped
like
yet.
and I felt like I was
so
just
confused.
So I used to try. I know, and I used to like pretend I'm like, oh, you guys, I think it's coming. I've got this cramp.
You
You
faked.
faked it. Oh no.
No, I didn't. I was like, but I can tell. I said, but it's gonna come. I mean, like it's coming. I can tell. But I was like, I swear to God, on my driver's license before I started my period.
Oh, I did the whole thing. I was like, is it gonna be like that my whole life as I'm looking down?
Stop
And then
it.
finally,
happened?
when I hit puberty,
Oh,
it was on.
That lizard Julie was asking about.
Whoa, M.
Well,
No,
M
so,
went there. You talking about his lizard?
you brought me there.
I'm just sitting here.
It got real bad when I went to college.
Tag teamed his lizard. It was both of your work.
Oh, we're sorry, Casey.
No, it's fine.
Jeff with the assist.
And the lizard in the backyard hasn't shown up since we talked about it on the air. Once everyone
He's
publicly
telling-
shamed it, it's
See?
gone away.
See how he's uncomfortable. He's telling you about the real lizard now.
Yeah. But yeah, I ran into the back of someone. I was in a car
you
wreck.
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't bad. No one was hurt.
running into the back of
Yeah.
someone.
Bring it on down.
So you guys got a joke? You guys got a
Emily,
joke
let's
for
have some
that?
wine.
You're in a
Emily,
car?
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in a car.
He is such a fun wild ride. Like you just never know where
Right.
he's going. You're laughing
Talking about
you're-
lizards, and then
we're
you
laughing.
ran into the back of
And then he's like,
someone.
yeah, I ran into the back.
And then you pretend like you're not leading us there when you were totally leading
No,
us
yeah.
there. You put it on a tee, and we just effing knocked it out of the park. Sir.
And I know we have a sponsorship read to get to.
We do.
But I want to say this. The wreck did cause me to really figure out what happened.
Okay.
I did have a day a few years ago where I woke up, and I don't know why. I had a bad migraine, which I don't get migraines hardly ever, but I lost my motor skills.
Ooh.
Like I couldn't speak. So I thought I was having a bad brain thing, which I know, yeah. So I had a hard time texting, and I was texting the show at the time. I was with Ben and Skin, and I was texting them. I was like, I don't know if I'm coming in today. And luckily, those guys like called an ambulance to my apartment at the time, which would have been really cheaper to
pay
just
for it?
Uber over. That ambulance was costly. But they are like, hey, man, that was bad and could have been really bad. And I don't know why it happened. And it's just a neurological thing. So I've got a neurologist now, and that helps sort out so many things.
Yeah.
And got me diagnosed and all this stuff instead of me fighting this kind of unknown weird sleep thing that oftentimes in pop culture it's a joke.
Yeah,
Right?
because
oh,
you
this
just
guy
think-
fell asleep at the
I
table
know.
in a movie or something.
Yeah.
So it's, there's things that I deal with, but I also view it as, hey, it's okay, deal with it and fight it the best you can and help people who are struggling with it if you can. And there are definitely worse diseases. So
Ben and Skin saved your life.
I wouldn't put it that way.
Bullshit. Ben Skin probably cost you $5,000.
Yeah,
And cost you $5,000.
They put me into severe debt,
But
and I will
But
get
here
out
you
of
are.
it one day.
someday you'll get those credit cards paid off.
Those college loans. Damn it, I'm behind.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about loan forgiveness if you want later. Okay, so we're going to continue to talk, but we do, as you mentioned, KT, in a very professional way. Mentioned that we need to get in a sponsor read, and this one is our friends at Bottle Rover. I'm not sure if you're aware of Bottle Rover, but they are an on-demand alcohol delivery app. So you download the little Bottle Rover. They've got a cute little dog logo. You
Scout.
download. Is his name Scout?
I think so.
If not, it should be. So you download the Bottle Rover app. You can't leave your house. Julie's got some kids. Husband's out of town.
Yeah.
She needs some tequila.
Emergency tequila. That's usually my
you need some
emergency.
Herman Marshall whiskey for a hot toddy.
Yep.
You just get on the Bottle Rover app. You order what you want, and they deliver it to your door. Orders over $50 are free. They're amazing, especially now with the holiday hosting, entertaining. Had a party at my house. I did not feel like going to the local liquor store. I like what they have to offer. I don't want to visit them. I want them to come to me, and that is exactly what Bottle Rover does. So now is the perfect time to check it out for hosting, relaxing, anything you need in the alcohol delivery form, not just alcohol, but also mixers, whatever you need. Whatever that liquor store's got, you can get it through Bottle Rover. So go get the Bottle Rover app, get you an order in, and let the good times roll. It's the season of gratitude, and we are grateful for Bottle Rover. All right, back to your lizard. I'm just kidding.
In the metric system, how big?
It's expanding.
Wow. As we speak, that's now I'm uncomfortable in the workplace.
Oh, damn.
So,
I thought this was fine.
So I have some behind the scenes things with the Freak. So this is a whole new venture, whole new station, whole new platform. God love Ben Rogers. Love him so much. But underdogs, we've got the startup company mentality.
Oh,
that he tells us.
Don't try to take Ben's bits. Don't try to
No,
take his bits from him.
He said it a lot, and I'm like, stop saying it. It's okay. Stop saying. We know. We all know.
Huge underdog.
We all know you're new. We all know you're a startup. We all know you're underdogs. Just quit talking about it and let's move on.
I don't know. He never asked us. I think we're overdogs.
Right. I mean, I'm like, what are you talking about? You're overdogs.
Yeah, I didn't get fired from anywhere. I quit and then got a big old raise. I'm a badass. I didn't come over here to fail.
Dumped us all underdogs.
So, but how did because like I said, I was privy to this a little bit before the general public was. And so I kind of followed along this little journey with my girl, Julie. And y'all talk about how late in the process you found out that it was y'all three together. So how did who's making the decisions? Who's pulling the strings? How big is Reiner? I mean, I don't like Mike Reiner very much, but I respect him a lot.
Yeah, they have a long-standing beef with each other.
Huge hatred. We had a big falling out, and then now we're trying to patch things up. But
I don't know if this is real or
That's
not.
all fake.
it's all fake.
You'll get there
He's
in
been
time.
on this show multiple
Our
times.
boss is calling me right now. We just asked him.
I love. Oh, we should put him on. See,
No,
does he
we-
want to answer it? Look,
No.
I was literally just asking
You were.
who's calling the
His
shots
ears
and
are
who's making
burning.
the decisions.
You can ask him.
Oh,
Hey, Patrick.
That's our boss.
is it?
Yeah.
Can you tell him I want to talk to him?
I'm great. This is going to sound weird, but I'm sitting here recording the Mom Game podcast
With Emily and Julie?
Emily Jones and Julie.
Does he want to talk
Hey,
to me?
Patrick.
And she's asking about how this stuff came together, and I don't know how to answer it.
Does he
but
wanna
you
talk
were
to
also
me?
calling at the same time.
I love that he answered this.
Oh, I'll call you back.
Oh, no, Jeff's in trouble.
Oh my gosh, he's getting called to the principal's office.
And notice Patrick didn't call me.
What's happening?
Yep.
Oh dear. Okay, should we stop recording?
You guys can keep recording, but I am going to pray.
You can step away.
I'm just going to walk.
Okay.
Just about stuff about where we're doing shows and stuff. It's not a thing. It's
Okay, but is everything okay?
Just, yeah. I just
All right.
happened to answer, so now it'd be weird to hang up.
Now it would be weird.
Okay.
Hey Patrick, can't wait to
Patrick.
meet you.
We can answer the
I
question.
can answer this.
Okay, please. That was
That's
really
funny.
tense for a minute.
Patrick went right into like the work talk, I guess. After that, he's like, "Oh, cool, you're on
He
a
doesn't
podcast."
He should. We're live on the air.
He
which
probably
we're not.
doesn't
He
understand.
doesn't get it.
Heart in my throat right now. I don't really know. I'm so nervous. I'm not.
You're right, but that was tense for a minute.
No,
It
it's
was
not that
kind of
tense.
tense.
It's fine.
No,
Well,
but it was. I feel like it was very dramatic. I like it.
I think, yeah, he probably just started talking about something. So Jeff's trying to
Be kind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So spill
well, we
it. Spill
have
the,
we have
spill the
been
beans.
trying to
Let's go.
figure out where to broadcast lately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because you had like
We had a
rodents
rat
and shit.
infestation.
Okay, hold on. Right fast though. Who? How
Yes.
big is Mike in the? I mean, is he the driving force? Is he? Who's calling the shots? Who's making the decisions? I need to know who's in charge in case I get fired from the Rangers.
Well, yeah. We have bosses in play, of course. Like, this is not just some thing that's just like strung together.
Right.
But I think there was a good Dallas Morning News article that kind of explained.
Oh.
Ben and Skin met with Mike Reiner. Mike Reiner came in and filled in for Skin when Skin was out with cancer
Yep.
at the beginning of the year. Skin missed like 6 months. So it was me, Ben, and Christina doing the show. So Reiner came in and did a couple shows, and I think just missed like hanging out with his friends. I say that, I don't know. I know he wasn't hanging out with his friends for 4 hours every day.
Right.
You know, so I think was kind of one thing, is like, okay, well, if he might want in, and I think you'll probably see this moving forward across the nation. God bless the history of music radio. It will continue, in some form. But I think you're probably seeing people go, well, selling talk radio is now kind of where things are moving. You've seen podcasts like The Mom Game who have infectious personalities. How about that?
Infectious.
And that's what people are following. People are following
Iffy
that more than they're
personalities, but they got
following.
a lot of ads. We
Okay,
got a lot of clients, a lot of sponsors.
Don't we?
My phone's ringing. I'm going to step out.
Stop
and take
it.
a
Is
call.
that your? Is it Patrick?
Yes.
I can,
This is amazing.
I can tell you what he's going to say.
He's gonna call Julie next.
Okay.
They're
This
doing
is so awesome.
I can
can't
tell you what
wait
he's going to say.
Will you tell him to call me after he calls you?
Emily's feeling left out.
He actually said to have you call him when we're done.
Oh, okay. He
Okay.
didn't realize that KT was sitting right beside you, also recording. Or maybe he didn't.
I
He just
probably
wants
didn't
to add to the
mention.
job.
I probably
That's
didn't
okay.
mention KT.
Can I just
Yeah.
tell you, you just brought us perhaps the most dramatic moment in
It was.
the Mom Game history.
It's just that we have creatures
Yeah.
where we broadcast from. And
still there.
now in the building they found some stuff that's kind of gross, I guess. And we're not going to be back there again tomorrow or next week. We're going to be at the other place.
Ooh,
Got to go back to another
bad
place.
rodents.
Yeah, they got people in there in the hazmat suits. And
Oh,
they found biochemical 726 or something, and they were like, "Hey, nobody needs to be in this building for a while."
oh wow.
Wow. Well, that's
Well, I
big.
wonder if you should join the Camp Lejeune lawsuit.
What's that?
Have you guys been getting those emails?
No, but I love lawsuits, especially if I can get something.
So it's like this Camp Lejeune class action lawsuit. I've been getting.
I just delete them.
I haven't. Well, so do I. But I at least glance at it. I'm like, why the fuck am I getting these Camp Lejeune?
Yeah.
It was like a military base or something, a military camp.
Oh, it sounded like the
Anyway.
Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th. You say camp anything, and I assume that somebody got murdered at a camp, and we're all going to sue for
No.
trauma.
Nope, not
All
suing
Did you
for trauma.
drink the water? it
Suing.
says.
Yep. Bad.
Did
bad
we?
water.
Did we drink the water?
I probably did.
You didn't go to Camp Lejeune, but you did go to a bad place with bad, dirty rodents.
Yeah, the Rat King.
The Rat King.
The Rat King and his minions.
Oh, shoot.
yeah.
I liked being back there today.
Yeah, I did too, but
It's just
Oh, y'all were back
we're
there
between
today.
a rock and a hard place because our show sounds a lot better there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier there.
Okay, now we've got KT back. This has been
I guess I didn't
Breaking
mention that
news.
you were
very
here.
suspenseful and drama-filled show. It's making me so
Yeah.
happy.
Julie's been fired.
No, no.
And they told you,
They told you,
Breaking
Jeff,
news.
to tell you to tell me.
Yes, you need to call Patrick
Telephone.
after the show.
Oh dear.
What did I do?
Kidding.
Principal's
did I
office.
do?
He also
Was
wants to buy airtime on the Mom Game podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It was probably, I knew when I did that 20-minute segment on furries,
Yeah.
I should have done a,
too much.
I
where
should have
were we?
second guessed that.
When I hit puberty, it was a time.
Late bloomer.
We were just talking about the freak and like how it all came to be.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and you were probably, I do feel like I was late to the game, like probably one of the last ones to get the call or
I refuse to answer questions about how I got to the freak.
Do you?
Just
Do
know
you
that
re-
I got there.
Do you remember when I slid in your DMs and offered up this beautiful place for if you ever wanted to host your own podcast? Because I did.
Maybe, maybe not.
I did.
But the thing is,
don't remember.
I probably don't because I kind of have my own thing.
I know you do, and that's why I
online.
wanted you because I knew you had a big
It
following.
makes me a butt ton of money.
There you go.
So I was like,
Okay, you don't need to.
I don't need
You
your,
made a good
I don't need
choice.
your
Oh,
network.
I mean, he was just like he was so non-responsive.
I am a network.
I am. Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you about that because you've mastered the YouTube thing. Like you've got a YouTube channel. I mean, listen, when I say mastered, but if you're generating income from something that you're already wanting to do anyway, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a little
Yeah.
bit of a mastery class. Like I mean, I should know more. I mean, my kids, they watch the craziest stuff. I'm like, these kids are doing like super hide and seek in Walmart, and I'm like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
And they're like, they're playing hide and seek in Walmart. And I'm like, oh my god, Lord knows how much these kids are making.
Yep.
You know.
especially Ryan, like the toy review
Yes,
guy.
that,
there's a
yes.
lot,
Well, and
yeah.
as you get older, that it'll get more ridiculous. You think toy reviews ridiculous? Wait until they play hide and seek in Walmart, and they're watching it for 20 minutes.
Well, it's basically what Jeff's doing.
Right. Well, but you're
Playing hide and seek in Walmart.
right.
I literally just hit the go live button, talk about the Cowboys, hit the stop button, and move on with my day. It's great.
So, but you're not. So, do you have advertisers, or is it just run through YouTube numbers and all that?
No, for most of the time until the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months, it was just the YouTube ads
Yeah.
that would go in there. And then there was a different company that reached out to me that basically for some people, they'll do edits and stuff like that and create shorts. And I was like, hey, I don't need any of that. All I want is the ad read.
Yeah.
Because they have a relationship with a big old gambling partner. And they were like, if you do this read in your video, you get X number of dollars per 1,000 views for it. And so I was like, sweet. And so I did that. And then when there's a few 100,000 views in a month, and then you do math and you're like, hell yeah, I made money.
It's awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's great.
How well in you're like selling yourself short on your Cowboys knowledge. You don't just turn something on and start talking and then turn it off and then have all these people that want to hear what you have to say about the Cowboys. Like how did because you both are very good like talking about all this stuff, sports and especially the Cowboys. How did that start for you? And when did you like realize, okay, I can make a career of really focusing in on this one team and then all of sports as well, but mostly the Cowboys, like the
that would have
in-depth knowledge is really awesome.
That would have started probably because it probably coincides with the draft stuff, doesn't it?
I think so.
KT and I met Brian Broaddus, who's on the Fan, former Cowboys scout, and we became good friends with him. And he's a former NFL scout and knew that we were into the NFL draft. I've been into the draft since I was 10 years old, pretending that I knew how to do rankings on stuff, even if I've never seen the players play. And he literally would sneak us into Valley Ranch 5 nights a week to watch like college tape and stuff. And
Oh, that's fun.
Eventually I realized that the NFL had a place where you could do the same thing with the NFL games, where instead of just seeing the TV view, you could watch every
All
play
22s.
from the all 22 view, and you could kind of learn the game even better and know more about how they played, why they played, who screwed up what. And I would say that probably started 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, I think that was like 2013 or 2014. And I know like, it was about probably 2015 when the world really began pumping out like the NFL draft industry. Just where every website has a dedicated NFL draft thing. And I remember Brian just invited us to Valley Ranch one night. And we went, and he was like, all right, see you tomorrow night. And we were like, okay. And I think at the time, we didn't really know what we'd gotten into.
Yeah, we didn't know we'd committed to 3 or 4 hours a night, 5 nights a week after doing a radio show of hanging out at Valley Ranch, watching tape.
It really was another job at times.
Yeah.
And now it's only, part-time out of the year. But we were going into each draft for many years knowing 250, 300 players and kind of fell in love with it because it is interesting when the Cowboys select 6th-round cornerback Anthony Brown, and Jeff and I live on the air go, yeah! And then get yelled at by our boss for talking over the commissioner making the pick. But we were like, we knew Anthony Brown
But then
was
years
pretty
later,
good.
he's like, hey, remember how excited you guys were for that pick? Because, man, that was so awesome that was on our air. I'm like, wait, remember when you told us we'd broadcast wrong when that happened? Yeah. And the YouTube part, I just kind of that was kind of stumbling into luck. Like I did the work to have the knowledge to be able to do Cowboys content, but it was one of those things where on radio, they want you to do more and more and more and more and more. And it ain't in your contract to do more and more and more and more and more, but they'll tell you, hey, do this, do that, do this. Yeah. So we were asked probably, 4 years ago, hey, I want video content from you guys. We want to use it, put it on our website. And I was like, all right, how do I send a video file that's that big? And they're like, we don't know. And I was like, cool. And so I realized that because I had a Gmail account, I have a YouTube account. And so what I would do is I would make a 2 or 3 minute video for the station. I would upload it to this YouTube account, send them the link, and they could post that. So it's just because files were too big.
Right.
Is why my YouTube channel
and
started.
Because your employer was asking you to do the things that weren't necessarily in your contract and being compensated for.
And so I didn't know anything about it, and I just had it listed as public. And it was like, you added subscribers. And then I got an email from YouTube that said, would you like to turn on monetization? You've reached the limits. And I was like, yes. And then I realized, thank you for asking me to do extra work.
Yeah.
It turns out I'm going to win from this.
Nice.
You got smart about it.
Okay, we're going to close up here in a second, get personal, but we've got one more sponsor read. And we were just telling you guys about this before we were walking in. Changed my life. Our friends at Early Bird CBD. KT, I'm going to make you try one.
I can't wait.
I'm going to force you. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Jeff has one. I give them to. I'm sorry, I hadn't given them to y'all yet. I give them to most people that I know and like.
Oh, you have. I have it on my dresser.
Okay, good. I thought so.
Nice. Don't be scared.
Early Bird Gummies. They are wonderful sponsors of us here on the Mom Game and also on the Dub Network. We've introduced Kevin Minch to them. He loves them. Craig Ludwig loves them. Everybody that we introduce them to enjoys them, and it's often for different reasons, whether they want help just relaxing their brain after a long day, or you need help sleeping, it helps with that too.
CBD helps with my anxiety.
And the
Oh,
CBD
such a game
helps with
changer.
Jeff's anxiety. They are formulated, though, and this is important, with a microdose of THC that is just a tiny bit, and it's just designed to help you feel good and to help you relax, maybe take the edge off. I enjoy them sometimes. Emily, I haven't even told you, like, I barely drink anymore during the week, and it's wonderful.
Good for you.
Oh, because of this show, right?
Yeah, you
And
gotta
it's
get up early.
Like, I've got to prep, I got to do this, I got to do that. You don't want to deal with a hangover, any of that. And the gummies are a wonderful option for if you just want to sit and chill for a little bit once you're done with everything that you've done for the day. They will put a smile on your face. We do have our own discount code for the early bird gummies. It's TMG. It's good for 20% off of your first purchase as a new customer. The URL earlybirdcbd.com/TMG. Automatic 20% off of your gummies.
Doing it.
Jeff's doing it right now. I love this guy. He will support
Look at that.
the early bird
Using
gummies.
some of that
support
YouTube
us
money.
here on the Mom Game. And we love you,
Plenty
early
of
bird.
Look at that. So much YouTube. I'm so
I think
YouTube
Kevin
money
would
rich.
like the butler to give him another glass
I
of
just
wine.
got the Bottle River app.
You did.
Bottle Rover.
Bottle Rover app.
Get it, Rover, like Brink Rover.
I might have typed
Red
in Bottle
Rover.
River and it still came
Bottle
up. So
River.
that's
There you
good.
go, that's winning.
So either way, I got it.
Okay, all right. Before we close, we got to wrap up. I do want to get a little personal.
Oh yeah.
Strawberry or watermelon?
I have strawberry.
Strawberry.
Thank you.
I have met
Cute.
your lovely. Is she still your lovely girlfriend? Okay. I mean, she's still lovely regardless. I
Yes.
just didn't know if she was still your girlfriend. I want to know. I always like to make, especially men, feel very uncomfortable
Yes.
about their personal lives and their relationship status. It's kind of one of my favorite things to do. So, where are you? Want to get married? Want to have kids? Who's this lovely woman you're with?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she hates when I talk about her, but her name is Roxy, Texas Tech girl.
Guns
Guns up.
Wreck 'em. Look out, Big 12. Joey McGuire's building something good out there.
Damn, Skippy.
Look out. Her name's Roxy. We just got a house 2 months ago in Richardson.
You're cohabitating.
Yes, we're cohabitating.
So are you both okay? Are you both on the mortgage? My husband and I we cohabitated before, and the house was in my name. My dad was like, if you want to move, if he wants to move in with you, you can. You're buying this house. It's yours.
I have the M. She has the bills.
Okay. But are
Good
you
handshake agreement, ironclad.
okay? Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been together for like 5 years. In fact, I met her when I lived with Jeff. Jeff and I lived in a condo in East Dallas. It was Jeff's, and he was being another great friend. As he said, "Hey man, you got an extra room if you want to pay cheap rent." So I gave him like very little money, and he let me stay in his house, his condo, and it was called the Condome because it was a condo.
It's a nickname. It didn't have an official
dome.
name. You called it that.
And yeah, so that is about when I met her, right around that time, 2017-ish.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know what else you want to know. We're not married or anything.
No, I mean, do you aspire to be married? Is that something you are seeking or want, or is that something she wants or is seeking?
Okay, I'll say this, and there's no way to say this without sounding like a dick.
Okay.
I am not a big believer in there are things in life that I have to have in the
Okay.
future. So if you said you could die without ever going to Australia, I'd be like, I never really wanted to go to Australia anyways. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get married.
Okay. Do you want to have children?
You know, I did until I met Julie, and just seeing how frazzled she is at times. Because she loves her kids.
Oh yeah, we all love them, but they make you effing crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Sorry.
where I stand.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rox.
But this is more of a thing where
Roxy.
I think Roxana should have the say in that
Yeah.
personally. So
But let me tell you something. As wheels off as it is to be a parent, and it is effing wheels off, there is no greater joy than seeing your children do something cool, help someone, to get that unconditional love from them. It is off the charts, the best drug ever. There is nothing. I mean, and I think about and I was a selfish person for a lot of my life. I still sometimes am, but the moment I had those children, it's so not. I
Yeah.
could give two shits about me and what I accomplish
Yeah.
and what I'm doing. I just want them to kick ass at life. I want them to be good humans. And when they do something good, Henry did a speech about Jackie Robinson, and I lost my shit. I was like, he's speaking in front of his 5th grade classmates
Yeah.
and dressed up as Jackie Robinson. And I was like, my mind is effing blown. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional. Like it's the coolest thing ever to see your kids do cool shit. And I'm not talking about like win football games. That's great. You hit a home run. I'm talking about like do cool shit where you know they're going to be a good effing human
Yep,
being.
and you're part of the reason why they're doing
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Then they
So-
bug the hell out of you for the next 72 hours.
No question. Okay, I'm going to take the heat off of you and I'm going to deflect to you.
I like the heat. It's fine.
Yeah. So, kids,
I'm the
do
most
you want
open and honest person ever, so there's no such thing as heat. I don't care what the question is. You'll just
Okay.
get whatever I think.
You are not with woman?
I'm not with woman.
Do you wish to be with woman or man or whatever you choose?
Furry.
Furry.
I've never been. It's funny because, as I just said, super open and honest. I've never been with man. I have told a therapist before that I thought I was gay,
Okay.
which goes back to just my inability in relationships. And so, at some point, when it's like, oh my god, I keep getting anxious about how close we're getting, and I just run away from it. That must mean that I don't like women. And I went into a therapist, and that took about 30 seconds to sort that one out.
Okay.
Which, if I were, who cares? That'd be incredible. Go get
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
I would have sex with all of our male listeners.
whoa.
I support it.
That wanted to. That wanted to.
That
were in on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not going to
still,
back
doesn't
up into him from behind or anything.
No,
Ah, you
no,
never
no,
know.
I
Okay.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't assault.
Wow.
Yes, I want to be with somebody, and it's still, I think, kind of is in some ways a challenge for me to when something goes from like, hey, we're hanging out and this is fun, and you're hot, and I like you and you like me, and then it becomes something that's very real, and it becomes something that's, I don't know, it's still kind of a foreign thing to me. But yes, there's nothing I want in the world more than to love and be loved, and I've gone on a whole bunch of bumbly, hingy dates. And like, I'll go once and it'll be fine. It'll be a good time. I'll go home and it'll be like, that was all right.
Right.
But there's nothing like, get back to that one. And I'm like, I don't know. Is it supposed to be this like, bang, that's
No,
the one?
It's definitely not.
So I should
mean,
just
it
keep
can
hanging
be.
out with people.
It can be, yeah. But just no. See where that my advice would be in my terrible dating past. I mean,
Go on a second date.
I got it right
Yeah.
with my
What
husband.
did I tell
but
you on the? I think I said like.
But are you?
If
are-
40%
are you
of you
s-
is interested
are you
or
s-
whatever,
right.
give it another
Yeah,
shot.
you
and
never
then see
know.
if that number grows.
Are you scared of commitment,
I don't think so.
or are
no.
you scared of the commitment ending?
I mean, I'm sure if you want to get super deep psychologically, something in there is like a fear of rejection or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think it goes back to a million different therapy things where it's something about self-worth and something about emotional
deserve
connection
it, yep.
being kind of foreign to you and all sorts of different stuff. But I think I've done a lot of work on things like that, and I'm in the best place I've ever been. So, yeah, I hope to be with woman.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
I love that you're open to it. I love that you both are open to it.
Yep.
I love.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
And it's a pretty cool job where they get to be themselves on the radio too. So anybody listening could be like,
Yeah.
"This guy's awesome."
Yeah.
You know, like that's cool. Maybe you don't even need the dating apps. Just see what happens.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
maybe you got a shot.
yeah.
I'm saying?
Hey, we got a lot of female listeners. On the
Yeah, we
Mom
do.
Game.
I was talking to the guys.
Oh, okay. Well,
I thought
we
you
have-
decided.
Well, you just keep the door cracked. You wanna
well,
keep-
we
the
have
important thing is to have everyone like you.
we have male and female listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Mom Game. So
we're
listen,
60-40, 60 female, 40 male.
if you're interested,
100%
holler at the fellas.
people that Jeff would be interested in.
Holler at Jeff. Holler at Jeff.
Yes, holler at Jeff, not a KT.
Don't
he is
holler
with
at me.
woman. Her name is Rox, and she's
precious.
Yes.
I'm looking for a woman in her mid-30s who's already had children that are already off to college.
Oh, that's a
Oh, good plan.
man. That's
You're really eliminating a lot of
somebody
options.
hit puberty really early. Okay, well, guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for taking care of my girl Julie.
I was told this was
I
like
know
a
she's
5-hour
enjoying
thing.
it. No, it's definitely not a 5-hour thing.
Oh.
I was told we'd been on
And
20
I-
minutes ago, and
we-
Warzone 2 came out today.
We
He's
need
so
more.
antsy.
I
to
planned
play
a
video
game
games.
show.
Warzone 2.
This is
Okay.
There's a lot.
I know since you've been watching since episode 1 and you got hooked in episode 44, you'll
Yeah.
know the end of the mom game the way we end every episode. It's not as cool as what you say, so I want you to say what you say to end every Speakeasy show, and then we're going to all look at the camera. You two look at your camera right there. Throw up the peace signs. I know it's cheesy as hell, but we say it, we do this, and we say mom game out. So you say your thing, and then we say mom game out.
You have no idea what anyone else is going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Be easy.
We love you, be easy, and
Mom game out.